Now, good start. Did you know that 1.2 million T-Crosses have been sold since 2019? That makes it one of Volkswagen's most popular compact SUVs, and 36,000 have been sold in South Africa. Okay, guys, that's like 18% market share of the A0 segment or whatever. That's pretty big in what is a very tricky market at the moment for the likes of VW and etc. Now, quickly, because you guys might remember that I did a review of the T-Cross about 3 months ago, which was the R-Line. This is the style, so it's just below that. So I wanted to see the insurance difference and what that would be. So pop the deets onto hippo.co.za, my details, by the way, and of this car. So it came out, my cheapest quote was 678 Rand with an excess of 9.5. So it was 20 Rand cheaper than the R-Line, which is pretty cool, take the saving. But the R-Line excess was 7.5. So you see, it really helps to get a whole bunch of quotes to see where you can save money. Why wouldn't you? So like I said, I had the R-Line. This launched last year, and in fact, they launched it at a price that was sort of the same, and if not cheaper than the models that were currently on the market, like that generation. And VW been keeping it like fresh, you know. So it got the new taillights, headlights. The style actually has the IQ light matrix LED lights and stuff, so it looks like really super cool. But otherwise, like standard across the range is like a wireless charger, this floating 8-inch infotainment system, a digital cockpit. It really is actually a very well-spec'd car, even from the entry, which is obviously not as spec'd as well, but sort of from one up, you're looking at a pretty well-spec'd car. As much as the Chinese cars come in and they're like, bombard you with like a million things, which is great. I'm not saying one mustn't do that, but it's not always necessary to have all the extras. I think people get a little bit overwhelmed with what is on offer because the list looks so long, but when you, in your day-to-day driving, please tell me how many of those you actually use. Something to think about. But this style then adds things like rear and front PDC. This one has got optional seat heaters, which, oh my gosh, has been glorious in this car, in this winter. I mean, it's 13 degrees outside now. We've had like a very cold, wintry, rainy winter. We have a very wintry winter. Well done, Jules. Also, I just spat. This rides on 17-inch wheels, and then it also has like these sports seats, but they also have like sustainable seat fabric. But I can't decide on this interior because I don't love a blue like this. I mean, blue is like my favorite color, but this kind of blue. But it looks very cool. It's like a denim interior, which I think will be great because it won't scuff and you won't see marks on it. And many of these are family cars. And so you want something that's not going to show up all the dirt. And this does it without just having a dreary black interior. I'm so tired of a black interior. Let me tell you. So, oh God, so I'm like, I put the heater on now like a little too much and I'm about to frick. By the way, TMI, on my way for a mammogram. How fun is that? How many of you are watching this thinking, what? I don't think she's going to tell me that. But anyways, it's what us women have to do. And that's not a vibe, okay? You have your boobs squished in something or whatnot. Put your balls in something and squish them. Oh, I've gone way off track. Okay, back to the T-Cross. What is very, very cool in this car is the fact that it's got a rear sliding bench. And so you can go from 385 liters to 455, which is pretty good. The 455 means that you're not going to have any passengers in the back, but that's fine. Like, you can also put those seats down. Thanks, guys. And, you know, when it's a family car, compact or otherwise, practicality is a huge thing. The other huge thing is the safety rating. 5 stars NCAP this guy has got. Now, it's still got obviously the 1 liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol. It's got, this one's the 85 kilowatts with 200 Newton meters, and this is mated to a 7-speed DSG. You can get a T-Cross for under 400,000 Rand just. It's a manual. It's got the 70 kilowatts. This is 511,000, which I know it's a hard pill to swallow, because at that price range, you can't help but think, shoot, you can get a much bigger car for that amount of money, especially, well, obviously within the Chinese market, or the Chinese brands that are here. And thank you for those who agreed with me that I don't hate Chinese cars, because I don't know where that came from. But anyways, I do not. I've always been very balanced about them, and actually praise a lot of them that are great. I think where this comes in now, because everybody has a lot to say about Volkswagen and the fact that they're expensive. Here's a few things to think about, okay? I'm a big VW fan, always have been. VW's a big fan of mine. We have mutual feelings. The feeling is mutual for each other. And I don't get paid by VW or anything, certainly not in the past. Like manufacturers don't pay me to do these reviews. So I can say, like, I adore the team at VW from the very top, you know who you are. Right, and actually all of them at the top, actually, right down to everyone. And I don't like saying down. The whole team across the board are incredible. And you know what? They're probably some of the longest standing employees that I've seen in any manufacturer, which says a lot about the manufacturer. Because a lot of the others, there's a lot of movement, a lot of turnover and stuff. And at VW, people stay because the company is great. And this is where it then translates into this car. Because it is tried and tested and loved and familiar, and you know it. And so that isn't a reason to buy something, I get it. But actually, having gotten in and out of so many Chinese cars at the moment, which are great, it is sometimes nice to get into something that you know and that you are very familiar with and trust. And I think the reason I say all of this is because I think it's why their customer base is so loyal. Because as much as you want to say they're so expensive, let's consider the fact that there is a whole thing called supply and demand. And do you complain to Apple or to Samsung when they charge what they charge for their phones? No, because you know them. You know they're good, you trust them, they're reliable, and whatever. You're not going to go for something cheaper because, or not even cheaper. I don't even know why I put those on there. You're not going to go for something cheaper when you want the phone that you want. And I think the same goes for like a little old VW and a T-Cross, mind ya. I mean, it still remains one of my favorite cars. I love a T-Cross. I love a Kia Sonet, and it's cheaper than this. So I'm just so glad I'm not you. If I'm buying a car in this segment, or if I've got between sort of 350 and 500,000 Rand, I don't want to be you. Well, I do because I want that money, but I don't want to be you having to make a decision as to which car to buy. It is the biggest sort of segment, the biggest band or whatever, and it is the most competitive and the most tricky. And I think that these Chinese cars are coming and really turn the market up on its head, which is great. We always need that. I like a little bit of a disruptor, but I don't envy you having to make a decision. But if you remain a VW fan, and most of the comments on the R line were like, we still love a T-Cross, we love VW, they can be expensive. Do you know? Just let me go, you turds. No? Couldn't let me go? Thank you so much. Why are people so selfish? I don't know if it pays to be kind. I'm always kind and let people in and do what I can to help others on the roads. And the only people who reciprocate that are the taxis, who then everybody complains about it. I'm like, at least they are kind and do allow me in when I need to go in.